Hi, I'm Jerome B, and this is my golden hour.
Oh God, what's going on? Where am I going? Dad?
Yes, my son. I am Deuce, the deer god.
I'm so confused. Who am I?
Derek. Your true name is Dercules. Dercules.
Wait, what?
Yes. You are Dercules, the god of the forest. Season 5. Hosted by your favorite podcast host, Big Bochi. You already know the deal, motherfucker. What's up?
And the double clap signifies the start of an episode. And before we begin, hey everybody, this is Conor Holway of the Golden Hours podcast. And listen, if you by chance get any sort of value from this episode, whether you laugh, you cry, you're entertained, or you learn something, dude, just share it with a friend.
Facts. Share.
Hold on. But if you don't have friends, you shouldn't be
listening to podcasts.
No, you should not. You should get some friends. Additionally, before I introduce my guest on the right, who is in the building today producing?
Yo, it's Abu, a.k.a. Big Fresh, checking in for another episode.
And when we say big, emphasize the big. And then,
big.
Who's on your right?
Oh.
Yep, you.
Catherine.
That's all you got for us, Catherine.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Catherine is...
Repping.
Catherine, how do you say your last name?
Mao, yeah.
Catherine, I did a couple interviews at a Starbucks up the street because we need a new editor on board, new producer.
Word.
And Catherine had a nice aesthetic, and we met, and I said, hey, man, let's just try it out. And now Catherine's here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no worries.
Vibes.
100%. Nonetheless, on my right, this is a Boston-based podcast, right?
Yeah.
GDP is very Boston-based, and I care deeply about the city, but we're parked in Somerville.
You are in Somerville.
And I feel like, dude, no one loves Somerville more than you, man.
Yeah, I can agree with. I don't know. I can agree with that statement. I like that statement.
On my right, I have Marcelo, a.k.a. Jerome B, a.k.a. the dude who helps run Balance with Big Fresh, a.k.a. One, a.k.a. Good Gas. We got a lot of branding going on here.
Yeah, a whole lot of branding, man. I love it. Yeah, the list goes on. It's fun.
Can you
What's
have
going on, man?
quick synopsis of who you are and what you do?
Word, yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, like the man here said, first of all, appreciate you having me on. Appreciate it big time.
You're a great guy.
So, I'm Marcelo, aka Jerome B. I'm from Somerville, lived here my whole life. I'm an artist and an educator. I've been making rap music for, it's going on 7 years now. And I've been, doing a lot of other stuff as well, like helping with Abu with Balance, which is an arts collective that we created. We really started doing stuff back in 2016, but we officially became Balance in 2017. 2017, right? I think.
Yeah, sophomore year, 2017.
Yeah, 2017. Lose track sometimes.
I know we're old, man.
Yeah, getting old, dude. It's crazy. New decade. But yeah, man. And I'm also a teacher. I've been teaching this is my first full-time gig since September. Technically August. And crazy story real quick. Or do you want to tell that story?
You should tell it, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to tell that. Just a good segue. Yeah, so I'm chilling. So I've known who this guy is for a while because, I've peeped the podcast. I'm a fan. And, of course, me and Abu have been making art together for mad long now. And so I'm chilling at Somerville High. I'm the media teacher. So I teach TV media production and film studies.
What software do they teach in
We're
school?
doing Final Cut right now, but I'm trying to slowly transition to Premiere.
Dude, Final Cut's the shit, bro.
Okay, word, yeah. Final Cut's mad straightforward and
you can get so much accomplished with it.
You
And the
can
goal
get
is,
mad done. Yeah, you can
the
get
goal
mad
is,
done.
can you make an incredible video?
Exactly, yeah. And especially with this being a high school elective, I'm not pressuring them to be creating some next level wild production, but I'm trying to give them the tools so that if they're into it, they can, become whatever they want with that and create whatever they want with that. It's all about giving the tools, bruh. Anyways, so I'm chilling. I think that there's another class being taught in my room, or I'm just on a break, and I get a call in my classroom, and it's Conor on the phone, and I recognize his voice just from the podcast and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, is this the media guy at Somerville High School?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is me." And he's like, "I was wondering if you have any, like, are there any students who'd be trying to help out, get some experience?" So he's helping out the youth as well, but trying to get some more help. And I was like, "Damn, like, sorry, man. Like, nah, these kids mostly, like, they're not available. But, like, yo, what up? I, like, know who you are, and I'm boys without boo."
Yeah, deadass.
So it's a small ass world, dude. I love when that happens. It's so sick.
I think what I said, I was like, yo, do you have any like Michael Bay stud in your class? And you're like, yo, bro, honestly, I don't think so, bro.
It's just hard because, like, I'm still figuring out this whole teaching world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different ball game in a sense. There are a lot of parallels with being an artist and doing these events where you're kind of helping other artists, or like trying to collaborate with other artists. And so it was just like, I'm still feeling it out.
Is it weird for you because like in your music, you're very just unfiltered and X-rated, and then like you have to be like really polished in an academic setting?
Nah, it's funny because, well, first of all, like, yeah, there have been a few videos, or like a couple videos where I'm not as comfortable sharing.
Like the one with the
or,
cake
like,
and stuff in the
Yo,
bodega?
no, hold up. I legit played that video for my classes. Like, I straight
does the
up
superintendent know that, bro?
played it. Nah, man, we're good. So I have the liberty as the TV media teacher. Like, I think it's really important that students know that their teachers are doing the stuff they're teaching as their own pursuit and passion, and something that they wholeheartedly are invested in along with teaching. So, like, was it a little bit questionable playing that particular one? Slightly, maybe. But they were vibing with it.
It's a fire video, bro.
And thank you, man. I appreciate that. They were vibing with it, and I think that it's important. I think it's just important that they understand teachers aren't just like, this is what they do. This is their lives.
Well, you're probably like the young, cool teacher right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll attest to the young. I'll let other people say cool. But yeah, bro, it's trippy because, like, I graduated, me and Abu graduated 2018. So we're 2 years out. I'm still 23. But here I am. I'm coworkers with all my teachers from high school.
Were you a good student?
Like, going to social hours and stuff, that's a trip. That's mad funny. What'd you say?
Were you like a good student at Somerville High?
Yeah. I wasn't
you weren't like disrespectful to any of the teachers you work with now?
Nah. I was a little bit, I was hyper, and like I was always kind of like a little all over the place, but I got good grades and I was always respectful. Both of my parents have been teachers their whole lives.
They're at Somerville High too?
No. Actually, yeah, my dad's a part-time sub at Somerville High.
Oh my God.
I woke up to last Tuesday morning 2 weeks ago because I just had February break. Shout out high school and school for breaks, amongst many other things.
February break and mass. And you get April too.
And April, bro. Come on.
That's fire.
And summer. Come on. But yeah.
Dude, and Christmas.
And
bro.
yeah, come on now. So yeah, but I woke up Tuesday with a fever out of nowhere. It was tragic, but I was like mad sick, and so my dad was my sub in my classroom.
What are the odds?
At Somerville High. It's so weird, dude. Like,
did they treat him respectfully?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything bad, but excuse me. I mean, there have been kids who wild out in his other classes, but I don't know. The kids would not, mess around with my pops. Like, that'd be mad disrespectful to me.
Well, dude, we used to torment.
How you about to come at my crib? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, people are ruthless towards subs, though.
They are, yeah. And, I tell him, I'm like, yo, you can't, it's not you. Like, it's just your role. It's just kind of the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Can't take it personally.
You're just walking into it, man.
You're just walking into it. Like, exactly.
Hey, real quick, I think, was that my phone that blinked twice? I just want to make sure my shit's off.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
What? It's probably mine. I'll shut it off. My fault.
Yeah, but he's been doing that. Like, he was a substitute in Boston when schools were being integrated. When kids were being bused to other schools. So like, he saw like a lot of shit being a sub in Boston. Just like mad visceral, dude. Busing, mad visceral racism. Yeah, 70s. Just like typical Boston. Just like heavy racist bullshit. Like.
When was that period in Boston where everyone's like, yo, there was a iconic
busing.
racist period.
I mean,
You know how like there's this underlying theme that Boston is like some sort of a racist city.
yeah, I think it's been a general undertone for a very long time. Like, I don't think that I think it's just kind of been throughout. And obviously my identity is like a little bit ambiguous. I'm Cuban American, so I'm very much white passing, but I identify as a person of color, and that's complicated, and that's a conversation I'm happy to have. But like, as someone who obviously has not experienced discrimination based on my appearance, like I can't really attest to the day-to-day feeling of it, but it's something that's been Boston's been historically known for. Like even in sports games, I mean, just at like at Fenway, Bill Russell, the GOAT, the technically GOAT if we're counting by, rings and chips, he had a mad complicated relationship with Boston because like he was a very politically, socially active guy, and there was a lot of tension between him and the fans, even though he was like their best player ever. And then obviously Fenway, as recently as, like, you remember that, like, what was it, like a few years ago?
But I feel like things like that will happen sometimes. And like, oh well, I told you they were always racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's so there's a history. So we've come away, but we've come some way. But obviously there's always more to go. But yeah, my pops has been there for like, he's seen all that. So
What does that mean?
shout him out.
When you say I'm white passing,
Bro.
does that mean like I pass as white?
Yeah, like if you look at me, you would never guess in a bajillion years that like my first language was Spanish and that I speak fluent Spanish, and
Unless you heard the music.
true, for sure. I've always been using Spanish words in the music, slowly figuring out how to use it a little more cohesively and not kind of like jamming it in there. I've never like forced it, but over time, naturally, with any expression, you just get more fluid and fluent with it over time. So yeah, white passing is just like I can't attest to or talk on discrimination because of the privilege that comes with the color of my skin, but I also have a history and a family history that is much more colorful than how I appear, and that's just something that I am aware of, and it's been something that I've been exploring and like figuring out more about, just having gone to college at Brandeis and meeting a lot of dope people there, and just growing, man. Just growing.
What is the Cuban population like in Somerville specifically? Because I know there's a big ass Brazilian population.
Different. It's non-existent. There's no Cuban community here. There's mad Brazilians, Salvadorans, Hondurans, Haitians. A lot of different ethnicities immigrated here for sure.
But like no Cuban.
Nah, not really. My mom.
How long's your family been in
came
the city?
here on some crazy universe aligning shit. But
What do you mean?
it's a story, bro. But I guess this is what the point of this. That's what
Yeah.
podcasts are about.
All about the stories.
But to answer your first question, my pops has been in Somerville since the 70s, late 70s.
So after the busing, he was like, "Dude, Boston's crazy."
No. I think he was already living in Somerville. He was just working in Boston.
word, okay.
So yeah, he's been here for a minute. And then my mom came here in 90 or 91 from Cuba. So she was born and raised in Havana and then came here.
Whoa, how'd you make it out?
My dad, they got married. My parents got married in Havana, Cuba. Havana's the capital of Cuba.
Damn,
So
that dude's like Zorro, bro. He really
Yeah.
went in there and saved her.
that's
and
crazy you
dipped.
say that because I've been obsessed with Zorro. Well, not anymore, but like as a child, I was obsessed
It's a fire ass movie.
with Zorro and just character and persona and sauce. Like he's a sauce monster, dog. He's just a
Banderas,
sauce
baby.
monster. Banderas, bro. Bands. But yeah, Zorro. Shout out Zorro. I put that my most popular song, So. It's produced by Big Fresh.
Hey, dude, I put it in like 30 of our
Bang
videos.
bang. Yeah, good looks for using that for the promo.
100%.
Appreciate
It's
that.
fire.
Appreciate
Complimented
that, man.
it perfectly.
Word. But yeah, there's a Zorro line in there. Just
What was it?
Siento como Zorro finna A to Z.
What does that mean?
Siento como just means I feel like. And then A to Z. In the song, I'm talking about like sleeping, but Zorro's signature is
Was the
like
Z with the sword?
wherever he like does some work or does a deed, on the door he'll just lay out a Z. So siento como Zorro finna A to Z, like
I'm finna
trying to
add
get
a
some
Z.
sleep. Yeah. but it just sounds way more.
Sounds fire.
Yeah, it sounds more saucy. Like you got to try to find like fun ways to just say some simple stuff sometimes.
So when you were like, all right, I'm gonna become an artist, how important was it for you to be like totally transparent about your nationality? And actually, before you even answer that, I think you're one of few artists that I know that really, at least out here, are like really champion where you're from. Like, why is that so important for you?
Those are two really good questions. What was the first one?
We'll get to that one after.
Okay, cool. Why am I so like adamant about repping?
It's in everything you do, bro.
Yeah. Word.
You
I'm
shoot
glad
all.
that
You like you
comes
only
through.
film
I'm glad
like
that
in
it
the
comes through.
city.
Yeah, I mainly only shoot in Somerville, and I feel kind of funky when I do it anywhere else.
Yeah, you hate Cambridge. We get it, bro.
No, bro, relax. I never said that. But being from Somerville, there's like always just kind of been this natural comparison that any cities do in the greater area of any urban center, like Greater Boston in particular. But yeah, Cambridge especially, and Medford. Medford's like our Yankees local rival, like serious rival. But
Bro,
Medford
got nothing on Somerville, big dog.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. No, I'm just playing. I'm not playing at all. Sorry, but no, with Somerville always having been more of a working class city historically, and Cambridge has always had more bread. There's just kind of always been that, underdog thing about it. Excuse me, it's ginger ale man. But yeah, so anyways, Somerville, like, it's a very unique city, man. It's very unique, and there's a lot of history there that a lot of people don't know about, and just all the opportunities I've had in life have come in some way through living in Somerville, being part of the community here, meeting new people and learning from other people. And so I kind of just feel like it's super important to just hype up what gives you what you have. It's mad important. And so, yeah, like I have a few random facts that I always whip out about the Ville. I won't go through all of them, but Obama lived here on Broadway for his entirety of his time as a student at Harvard Law. He was just
How'd he get to Harvard?
He was just
took the tea every day.
Yeah, it's a pretty straight shot. It's not bad. I think you would probably just take the 89, assuming the lines were the same. I don't know, but the 89 to down Broadway and get to Davis. Yeah. But I don't even know the history of the stations that well, to be totally real with you. But yeah, so that's a random thing that I'm always proud of, because
it's a little weird.
Obama's a legend. Obama's a legend, bro. And the guy who lives in his apartment now doesn't fuck with politicians at all. Like, he doesn't ever vote. All politicians are crooks. Like, I just love those kind of ironies, man. But yeah, I'm like I'm a little bit. Sometimes I worry I'm too in people's faces, like Somerville. But
I'm the same way though, bro. Like, I'm really proud to do everything out of Boston. Like, I mean, again, we are in Somerville, but I'm totally proud to rep the city.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
Facts.
I love the fact there's no mold to do anything here, and like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, there's a little bit less of a pressure and
it's like, yo,
you have to apply the pressure on yourself, but like,
yeah,
because there's less of a history here, we do kind of have that freedom to
massive opportunity,
build our
bro.
own momentum, and that's part of the thing. So I'm glad, like, exactly. So by repping Somerville mad hard, I'm just trying to show people from Somerville, but also just anyone from their own city, to just be proud of where you're from, no matter what. I mean, granted, if you're like forced to leave for whatever reason, like gentrification, it's different. But I know people who've had to leave Somerville that still rep Somerville mad hard no matter where they go. But like, no matter where you're from, if it's given you mad hardships, it's treated you badly, that still has been a huge factor in making you who and what you are. Not what you have to be or what you can, or like all you can be, but it brings you to where you are. And that is a huge part of showing you where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't really get to choose where you grow up, man.
You don't. You really don't.
Unless you're just like a stud when you're 8 and you're like mad smart. You're like, yo, bro, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's like go rent a spot up the street.
Or you just got some crazy talent, or like you just blow up because.
Or you're like Macaulay Culkin. You're like, yo, I got the bag, bro.
Yeah, exactly. If you you're famous as a child, or in 2020, you can blow up overnight just by doing one dope thing.
Little TikTok.
TikTok now is crazy, yo. Like all these high school kids.
I could
are
see
just
your
like,
songs clicking on TikTok, dude.
Yeah. I'm slacking on that. I want to make one, but I don't know. It's just like another thing to maintain. I have a Twitter. I literally never ever use it, and I've made multiple Twitters over a very long span of time. Just never sticks. I'm always
You're
on
on IG though, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much on IG. I just don't know. It's hard to be like maintaining all these channels, bro. It's a lot.
I know.
I mean, yeah, you're the last person I gotta tell, bro. You got your own.
See the bags under my ass, bro.
Yo, yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a very important. Hey, but you know, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a sign of the work, right? I mean, I would go without them too, but
Nah, you don't want all that, bro.
you don't want all that.
Hey, so
The grind don't stop,
well,
cause the shine gon' pop.
so do you ever feel like you exhaust all your resources in the city, or like, do you ever have a desire to like make? I mean, you're an artist, so I'm sure you want to grow things like on a bigger level.
Yeah, always on a bigger level. But I think that for me, a big part of that growth is in that foundation. Because when you think about, a plant, right? It's in order for it to shoot up out the dirt, those roots have to be super hydrated and strong. And so by being so heavily about Somerville, and through that being heavy about community and building real community, I think that bigger picture, like that bigger growth is coming it's just going to organically come through because we've been putting in that groundwork for dumb long now. I'm looking at Abu because it's crazy, bro. Like, actually we did the first one. It was much more like DIY in 2016. Before
When you say
Balance was-
one, can you just elaborate on what that
right,
is?
of course, yeah. So one is an annual art showcase for Greater Boston and Boston artists, musicians, to perform, a set. And so we've had 4 annual volumes of one. The first one was in See, that's my favorite thing because I can say the first one, and it was literally the first one.
One.
But like I can
That's
say
what
that.
they call it, double
What?
entendre.
Bars. Okay, yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go, let's go.
Got the one double.
I'm smart. I went to college too.
A one double, but
was a terrible
fuck 12.
No, not true.
okay.
Well, fuck you.
Okay.
Are we anti-popo too?
No. I'm not anti like every popo, but like that's a whole nother conversation. But before we get into
Wait, can I also say one more thing? Just so you know, this is coincidental. Tomorrow I do have Joe Curtatone coming back up.
Oh, word.
Just so you know.
Hey, yo, he's a great mayor, man. Like I'm not gonna.
That guy's got a motor, man.
Yo, yeah, he's wild. He's been putting in work for dumb long now. But
You want to run a people's campaign against him?
no.
A grassroots?
I won't do that. But I am voting Bernie Sanders, if that matters to any of you.
Why?
Why? Because there has never been a politician that I can think of in my lifetime, or even in the generation before me, that has been saying the same exact things, protecting the people for 40 years, for more than 40 years. And it's inspiring to see because the political landscape is mostly about catering. Even great politicians like, Obama was in my opinion, one of the better presidents we've had historically, but he also had major faults. Like obviously he deported the most people out of any president, right? That's bad. So politicians are never perfect, but Bernie has never cared about being perfect, and he's not perfect. But he's been protecting and fighting for the people, the poor people, the working class, the middle class people for 40 years. And I have full faith in him for that. Obviously, there are specific policies that I can name a few that I'm a very big fan of as well. But on a basis level, that's what gives me that gut faith and encouragement to vote for him.
Do you ever worry about his age?
No, I do not worry about his age. I understand that whole heart attack thing, and that was, that's a fair scare. That's
a pretty tough L, bro.
It's a very valid reason to be worried about him being president. But he does more, and let me say this with an asterisk because there's a chance that this is not true, but I've heard that he has done more campaigning, more speeches than any other candidate. He is constantly meeting people and talking to huge crowds of people on a daily basis, flying everywhere. And that's another critique people have of him. Like, why are you flying in these private planes when you're for the people? Again, another thing, politicians aren't perfect. You got to get everywhere if you're going to touch base.
I mean, if you're selling something nationwide, dog, you got to fly
Yeah,
across
come
the
on,
country.
bro. We're not on buses out here. You're trying to be president.
It'll take years.
Exactly. And we don't got years. We don't even have months at this point, bro.
You got like seven months.
I mean, yeah, we have months, I know, but I'm saying it's just like, boom.
Well,
it's gonna be
Massachusetts
foul.
is next Tuesday.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did you do it? You already did a pre-vote? Or are you going next Tuesday?
I know I'm going next Tuesday. I want to knock on some doors this weekend.
No way,
in
really?
Somerville.
You're this pumped. So let's go.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I think it's really important, and I'm not gonna act like I'm a political servant. Like I'm not constantly out here doing a lot of like grassroots campaigning for him. But anything helps, and I think that just the act of getting out there and meeting other people in Somerville or wherever you are, I think that's community building in itself, and like trying to connect or hear viewpoints of people who might not agree with you, or have more, layered, different layers. It's healthy to unravel those with them and like try to find out why they're thinking what they're thinking.
Can you? Because I personally don't know, but
Yeah.
What type of? Mind you, I just pride myself on working like a psycho, and so
Good.
I
Shout out that.
sometimes worry about like if some of those policies will provide a disadvantage for the hardest worker.
Okay, understood.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Let's say I'm working my ass off, but then does that mean I have to throw everybody else alley oops who's being lazy? Is that what that means?
No, that's not what that means. It's complicated, obviously.
You know what I'm saying, right?
First of all, yeah, and I don't think it's more of like this in itself could be a podcast series, like talking about how many different factors go into like why politicians make the decisions they make, who's affected, but ultimately it comes down to how much support you think there should be for the average working class person. And I'm not saying you're against that at all, but I'm saying one of Bernie's biggest things is a $15 minimum wage. That's huge for anyone that's working, because if you have a job, then you're not lazy. And I just think that, like, flat out period, if you are going out of your way to get a job, you got to clock in, you might hate that shit and it might make you miserable, but you need that money to support your family, pay back loans, whatever's going on in life, medical bills. You're out there making your money, and in most places it's not enough money. So
$15 is not enough in Boston, big dog.
I agree with that, but you have to start somewhere, dude. Like
what's minimum wage in Boston?
I actually
right now?
don't know off the top of my head.
Catherine, would you mind looking that up on your phone?
Yeah, word. And again, like, that's something I feel like I should know. But that has to change. That's one thing. Like, someone getting a few extra bucks, that's not going to hurt someone who's grinding mad hours. And because you also have to remember, like, they're also grinding a lot of hours themselves. They're just doing less appealing or attractive or, advanced work, but they're doing work that is providing for them and their people. And so the next question is, and I think that based on how we feel about it, I think we differ in this view, and that's okay. That's what it's for. I do think that people who make, tens and hundreds of millions of dollars should be contributing more money in their taxes to support causes and policies that are going to be supporting people who have historically had less money from the get-go.
Dude.
Like people with...
Dude. I don't know enough to have a stance. So don't worry.
Okay, word. And I want to also say to that there is so much that I don't know. And that sometimes can be like limiting because we're scared of being wrong.
I just don't. I honestly, literally don't know enough.
Okay, word, and that's an important thing to say. Like that's
Dude, I love you.
I love you too, dog. And that's valid as fuck to like say that you don't know enough, and that's something that most people have too much pride to say. And there's a lot that I need to know that I don't know.
Well, don't you think it's
But-
just interesting because like me and you are the same age? Well, I'm actually. When do you turn 24?
May 4th,
Yeah, so I'm a couple months older than you.
lit. It's coming up real soon then.
No.
Couple months
I
older.
turned 24 in December.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool. I thought you meant like you're about word.
I don't think a majority of people our age have made enough of a bag yet where like they can have a real fiscal stance. You know what I'm saying? Really just started making money.
Yeah. But so I think like the biggest thing for me about my, like why I'm so communal based in everything I do is because I think that before the money is there has to be the belief or the philosophy. Because then if there is no philosophy and then the money comes in, you don't even there's no you don't have your steps of what you plan to do or where you want to put the money, right?
I agree.
Right? So like I don't think that we should be basing or like defining our stances on money based on how much we have, because like think about the tens of millions of people who have never had the privilege or foundation to have that wealth in the first place. Like the amount of people starting at grounds at level 0 who have to build up from nothing, they had that vision, or like they knew they needed to make money, however much it is, whether you're talking enough to feed your family or, if you want to like feed your families, but like you need to know what you're standing for. So I think that like before the money ever comes, you just have to believe in like what people and what causes need that money. And that's going back to Bernie, like that's why he has my vote. I voted for him in 2016 over Hillary. Of course, I voted for, sorry, I shouldn't be saying of course, but I'm just saying for my own sake. Yeah, I respect opinions, but I voted for Hillary in 2016. But I'm voting for Bernie again because he cares, man. He cares about every last person, and I've never just felt that gut reaction to a candidate before. And so I'm running with that, and I'm always open to hearing. Like there are people who know more, that know things about Bernie's history as a senator that I don't. Then I need to know more. But it's a constant process, of learning. You know what I mean?
It's also a trendy campaign for kids our age.
Yeah,
For sure. Like
definitely.
I mean, I'm sure a major part of his demographic is kids our age, right? Mm-hmm. Just it's interesting.
Yeah. And
Big Fresh, what do you think about the Sanders campaign?
I think like I've kind of said this previously, but like I was like very big on Andrew Yang and
I know
in the
we ran the
beginning,
Yang
yeah.
episode.
But,
it was great, dude.
Yeah, but I think also like Bernie definitely comes in at like a close second just because of the obviously I'm not like familiar with all of his policies, but the big ones are like the tax reforms and the student debt crisis, and so those personally are two things that kind of resonate heavily with me. So I like wholeheartedly support Bernie at this point, and I think it's cool that him and Andrew Yang were like pretty tight. So I think
You're pumped about the bromance.
So I think that's definitely going to lead to somewhere if and maybe when Bernie wins,
Yeah.
What about Catherine? Who's popular like on BU right now? Like does everyone love Bernie?
I honestly couldn't tell you enough because I'm not from here, so I know
very
more
real.
about the Canadian system than the
that's very
U.S.
real.
So
I know what you're saying.
But
On
definitely
campus,
stuff.
like
I feel like a lot of people are like Bernie. I feel like because a lot of he's targeting more like younger people, especially with like the student debt thing.
And who's got the most pop in social media campaign right now? Because I know you're heavy on the IG.
I don't know.
Don't lie, Kev.
I
clue,
don't
'cause, like,
know enough.
I only follow Bernie, so it'd be
Bloomberg's got that
biased.
poppin' campaign, bro.
Don't even know.
Everywhere.
No.
Bro.
Fuck
So stupid.
Bloomberg, bro. I'm sorry. Fuck Bloomberg.
Bro, he's killing it on the social.
I know. He is. He's like, yo, let me throw racks at you to like. That's crazy to me, dude. Like, oh man, that's nuts.
It's mad smart.
It is mad smart, but like again, excuse me. I think that one thing about me that I don't need to work on, but I need to be like aware of more so is like I'm a very passionate person and principled to the point of like stubbornness. Principled to the point of stubbornness sometimes. And so when I think of this billionaire, like very, very rich man, for a man who's running for president to be willing to give people $2,500 for social media support when he could be doing anything with that money. He could be giving that money to anyone. And again, I don't know about his philanthropic history or how many organizations he gives money to on a consistent basis. But if you add up all the people that he's willing to throw this at because he's desperate to have a chance at being the Democratic nominee, that in itself is exactly why he should not be president. Like, I could think of so many things that millions of people in America could do right now with $2,500. I could think of the amount of water you could buy and send to Flint, Michigan, which after almost a decade is still fucked. Like they can't drink water, clean water there. Like those are the things I'm talking about, bro. Like that's a basic human right that this money's just being thrown in the opposite direction of. And like that's the kind of stuff that I get like mad passionate about, and like I need to tone it down sometimes.
Well, maybe his rationale is maybe I'll spend this money to get to president so I can make a bigger impact.
I don't know, man. Again, like I've seen a mad funny meme that was like a MAGA hat. MAGA? I don't know how you say it. MAGA or MAGA?
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Either way. But is a blue MAGA hat. And it's like Bloomberg be like, and it's just a blue MAGA hat. They're like
very smart.
They're best friends. Like they've been best friends for decades. I don't know about best friends. They've been boys for mad long. He supported a bunch of like sus racist shit, like stop and frisk. I mean, like again, I'm just like saying things that are like mostly I've learned just being tapped into social media, and like I'm working on trying to diversify my news outlets because I'm about to be teaching a news literacy class.
No, what you should just listen
at
to
the
is
Institute
podcasts.
of Contemporary Art.
Yeah, just podcasts, the most transparent media.
You're right. You're right though. Podcasts are like a really good way to consume media for sure, and news and information. Shout out Golden Deer.
Can I ask you a question though?
That's what I'm here for, baby.
Dude, that's a fact. Do you have no desire to ever make bread? Like ever make big money? That doesn't matter to you?
No, not at all. I have no emphasis on a day-to-day basis of that, because I believe that by doing everything that I'm doing in my life, everything I'm doing is because I'm like innately passionate about it, or like something calls to me and I kind of get obsessed with it and follow that trail. I think that because I'm so in touch with like, this is going to sound on some spacey shit, but I very much do believe in the universe and how things align. And there are so many little signs in life on a day-to-day basis.
Bro, I know.
Yeah. And it's all there. And it's in a lot of factors. It's about how you're raised. It's about how many, amenities and like, or like comforts you've had in life or struggles. But if you can see those signs, like things just fall into place, man. And I'll tell my origin story at some point tonight. Sorry, I'm like fidgeting so much. You see that what's that interview with Young Thug? Why am I forgetting? No Jumper. Did you see the No Jumper interview with Young Thug in the like trailer?
Yeah. That was like the worst quality interview I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But the comments are solely focused on literally Young Thug for like 30 minutes is just doing this. For like, he doesn't stop the entire interview. It's mad awkward.
You probably had a wool sweater on.
He was tweaking so hard, bro. Anyways, I'm not tweaking right now. I just get mad fidgety because like a very hyper kid. But
yo, bro, me too.
Yeah, word. You've got the composure down. That's what I'm working on a little bit.
Inside, I'm dying.
Yeah. Facts. Where were we though? We were talking about universe. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So
I asked you if you cared about being rich.
The money. So I think that by doing all these things, I think the money will come if it's meant to come. I have I'm blessed to have a full-time salary job teaching at Somerville High School, where I graduated from. It's crazy. The classes I'm teaching in the room where I took the class. Like, it's the same room. All the computers are the same as when I was the student.
Deja vu.
There, bruh, exactly. I have a new song that it's coming out on the next on one of my next albums. Is every day more like deja vu. Probably come down to the way I move. Not a lot of y'all see the way I see. It's about more than the guala how it pay off, fool. See what I'm saying?
Whoa.
That's crazy that was relevant to what the fuck we're talking about. I didn't even realize that until I said it. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, every day
I just
more
had
like,
deja vu.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We're in the simulation. Ask Big Fresh.
We are. That's very true.
Big Fresh, bro. So yeah. So I have so much faith in the fact that, like, by just doing all this shit that I care about, bags are just gonna keep coming in, and I would do them for free, bro. Like, so I'm the announcer for the so side thing, like, my biggest passion in life, my single biggest love.
Can I guess?
You're not gonna guess it, but go ahead.
I think
Unless Abu like filled you in.
I'm gonna guess two things. One is soccer.
Ah, yeah, he knew it. Okay.
Easy.
Yeah. Wait, what was your second guess though? Look at that, 1 for 1.
It doesn't matter now. I'm 100%.
All right, you're gonna tell me after
One
we're
take
done
jig.
filming. Hey, yeah, soccer, dude. So I've been watching it. I started when I was 8, and I've also always been obsessed with accents. So I think, like, at least in the beginning, like, the English commentary was like a big thing for me too. In addition to the whole sport, obviously.
Andy Gray. Well, what is
Yeah.
in FIFA? What are the names?
It is Martin Tyler and Andy Gray.
And Clyde.
Oh, yeah. Clyde Shelby or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But so, like, soccer, right? Yeah, so I played for Somerville High, passionate about it. So I'm now the announcer for the Somerville High School, the boys and girls, the cable television. They film the games. So I'm like the play-by-play guy for, all 80 minutes of the games.
Damn, you're really on that guerrilla marketing.
So, like, that's word. So, like, that's, again, that's a side bag that I would do for free completely.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm in the community and because I have a deep history and love for the sport, it came to me. And that's, I'm not making, like, mad money off it, obviously. But that's a bag. I'm coaching an elementary school soccer team here in Somerville.
You better get those boys in line.
Shout out West Somerville and the Kennedy.
Get those boys in line.
Mad trippy. Like, this is why I love Somerville. Yesterday I was playing pickup around the corner from my crib, and one of my players was playing pickup. So I was playing against my player in this pickup soccer.
You were playing like some 10-year-olds in the park, bro?
He's in 8th grade.
You were getting dusted by some 8th graders?
No. He was the youngest kid by
Like, get out of here, old man.
Imagine, that'd be hilarious. No, that'd be sketch. That's like, I'm proud of this kid because he's like the youngest kid by like 4 or 5 years.
He was just balling.
But like those are like little reasons why Somerville's dope, man. But like that's a bag coaching, and I would do that for free. Don't take any of this, don't hold me accountable for this stuff. But but it's amazing, bro. So like just because I'm doing things I love in my community, I'm quite literally getting rewarded for it. But it's not about the money ever for me. And like I totally respect people who are more money driven. I just ask you, whoever you are, to not forget about the people who don't have that money.
Well, so sometimes this is just me being very honest. Like,
Yeah.
I realized I was born with certain skill sets. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll be able to make a lot of shit happen, bro, just because I have certain skills. And so I sometimes feel obligated down the line to run the numbers up so I can put other people in positions. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, thanks.
And so that's one reason why I'd like to be wealthy, because I'm like, I could put other people in positions that they probably would never have an opportunity to do beforehand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's an example of, that's what I'm talking about. I say the people with less money, like, yes, I was thinking like more immediately like with the food drive thing for one.
You were thinking people who are dead broke.
Yeah, dead broke or like need that foundation that you're talking about, or like that uplifting that you're talking about. But that's another example of like that's mad good use of your position, which you earned because you have an intuitive ability to grind. And most people, or a lot of people, aren't born with that, like that inner fire to just constantly be busy. Like if you're not doing something, you're like, yo, what am I doing right now?
I'm sure you
Like,
have that though. As
yeah,
an
hell
ADHD
yeah, I
boy.
do, man. I don't know, man. Like I always felt like I had ADHD.
Oh, bro, you're off the rocket, dog.
Yeah, bro. And like
Takes
and-
one to know one, dog.
yeah,
Trust me, you got the sauce, boy.
Word, sauce monsters, sauce
Yes.
monsters. But yeah, so I think that by always being occupied or preoccupied, that's the only way that I'm able to like keep that shit relatively calm, you know, like on a leash or
So you in your life,
in my
like,
sight.
you'll never say like, "Yo, I want to be rich." That will never happen to you. It's very American, dude, to be like
To be rich?
Well, no,
To aspire to that, you mean?
to aspire for financial wealth. I
Bro,
think
I'm so hip. I'm so hip, man. It kills me. It really pains me. Again, like another reason. I'm sorry. I really did not plan. I know you had a Yang, spokesperson on here the other week. That was dope.
she was great.
Yeah, she was dope.
We were in here for like 2 hours.
So I don't mean to be another. Like, I'm not a Bernie bro, but you know, the themes of what I care about constantly go back to this guy because of what he stands for. Like he's saying, you know, like people with all this money have never had to chip in at all, like a little bit more. And I'll say this: I understand completely why people are so protective of their money. I understand it. And it's heavily because it's rooted in this capitalism that you were just talking about, the American standard of financial wealth. That is something that is at the heart of this country, like from day one, and like getting other people to do the work for them so that they could build vaster properties and, you know, ownership and right, like it's in the root. And so what Bernie's doing is digging up the roots, and it's not just him. There have been countless people over, you know, a very long time that have been doing this work. But I say this because he's now has a platform where he can really be the person that's the catalyst for that movement. But another reason I'm so like adamant about that money thing is you know, where my parents' story is crazy, but having visited Cuba my whole life and seeing
It's like 1950s down there, right?
yeah, it is true what they say, that it is kind of like a time capsule. It really is like that.
Can you elaborate on why that is?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's a few reasons, but the first reason is communism.
Well, no. Can you elaborate on pretty much what I've heard is Cuba is they had the embargo, so they couldn't get
Poland Spring.
They couldn't get anything traded to them, and so
they
had is like old cars from the 1950s.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, believe me. I'm going to get there quickly. But the embargo was because of communism. Like, so because Cuba is a communist country, there was that huge hatred or rivalry between the United States and Cuba. Rivalry is too or like belittling of a word, but there was a huge political feud between them. Beef, thank you. Like that's the best word possible. Beef.
Carne.
Carne.
Yo,
mad funny.
Yo fui a la tienda de pelo corto no puedo de Waltham y mi barbero es dominicano, so todos los tiempos yo fui a la tienda, yo aprendí una nueva palabra.
Oye, escucha. Okay.
Una nueva palabra ayer es cuello.
Cuellos? Oh, yeah, word.
Cuellos.
Sweater, yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry, a collar?
Collar.
Yeah, my bad.
So, tú trabajas en una cuello azul por su trabajo, ¿sí?
Okay, I see
Te
what you're
gusta.
saying. Sí, me gusta. No, blue collar.
What I said is in Spanish, I said he works a blue collar job.
No. Fortunately, like I'm getting paid, somewhat relatively well for a teacher. I'm very blessed to have that. But yeah, teaching, that's another thing. Like teachers don't get paid enough, man. Like for the amount of crazy shit they have to do. I teach fun classes.
Yeah, you get all the creative kids
and
in your
so
class.
that's a good thing because it's an elective. It's not high pressure. They can be creative. But for teachers who are teaching like let me not say important, but the core classes that you need to graduate, that's more hard because you have to motivate them. You know what I mean?
Well, bro,
And I'm
I
talking about
hated
from a
school,
young
dog.
age.
I
Young
hated
age.
school, though.
Yeah, it's totally valid, dude. Totally valid. School's not built for like a lot of kids.
Bruh.
Like
You probably got some problem kids in there. And those kids are going to go on to be beasts.
I'm blessed that I don't, because it's all classes that are electives, and they generally are happy to be in these like low pressure environments. They're making fun stuff, so I don't have to deal with any disrespect or like serious issues. Thankfully,
You never had to square up on a kid.
nah. But
Hilarious.
fourth grade was crazy, bruh. So I graduated 2018 undergrad, and then
You and Big Fresh.
together, yes, Brandeis.
What was that like? You guys bawling your eyes out?
Brandeis.
Oh, leaving? No, I was
leaving.
I was happy to be done.
Did you guys
So
look at each
happy.
other? You go, next step, Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like exactly
Definitely
like that, but
never
like,
were like Boston.
You
but
guys like high five,
in
like
what we did, in what we've been doing, it's been slowly gravitating towards that for sure, man. It's all got to be organic. But
what was Big Fresh like in college?
Big Fresh was killing it, man. Yeah, he was always doing a bunch of things at once. A creative genius, absolutely.
You guys have any like wild stories together?
Honestly, like, I mean,
nothing like that crazy.
nothing that
yeah.
crazy. First of all, Brandeis is not
Yeah.
a lit school. Like,
Nah, shit's fire.
it's a fire school in my.
I was being sarcastic.
No. I think it's a fire
It's a
school,
cool
and
school, yeah.
and like a lot of people would not agree with that. But in terms of just the things you can get out of it, it's a fire school. But if you went there to be like turned and go to
That's
like
not
some
Alabama.
lit parties, it is not the place to be. Definitely not. But I knew that going into it, so I wasn't like, oh fuck, man, like this is so whack, so lame.
So you guys never had like a moment like freshman year where you got like too smacked up and you guys were like in a McDonald's like when you guys were crying.
Yeah, we've had moments like that, but I wouldn't even associate it with Brandeis really, like, because it's in Waltham, and so it's not like it's typically not like in the heat of like some huge city center, you know what I mean? But
you guys would go downtown, yeah.
We go into Boston and stuff, like yeah, for sure. But Brandeis was cool, man. Like one thing that was huge was that we got this. So my boy Avi from Brandeis, he started this thing called Basement Records, and it was this student-run record label, and so I was VP of it. And so we got Brandeis to. There was this like dinky garbage studio in the basement floor of the library, just like a thin room with a microphone and a Mac desktop. And I spent so many hours in there, bro, like religiously. Like I slept. No, I didn't sleep.
I did the
once.
same shit
I brought a
bro.
pillow once because I was like, I'm asleep here, dog. But I never slept. I didn't sleep. I was like, my fucking
Late night in the stew.
I was like, bro, my room's like a 5-minute walk. This is so pointless. But like I was there till like 6 a.m. or something. But yeah, bro. So like they gave us money to rebuild the studio, like, and so it's not like state of top grade, but it's free for me to use whenever. And so like we record there, and like it's a nice ass space.
So have you always been that dude who's just like wanted to be community driven?
I don't know if I've always been that guy, but I think that like, yeah, I think in a way, yes. And I think that's because of one, my mom being from Cuba, like Latino culture in general is very community based. From your immediate family to your extended family to like your neighborhood, to your city. Yeah, everyone's just mad connected. People know each other. There's a lot of love and like support there. And then my dad has been politically active his entire, since like after college. Like he's always been very politically active. Like, a lot of not campaigning, but like, canvassing and rallying and all that stuff.
I'm going to sound brain dead, but what is canvassing?
Canvassing is like when you're going around like
with a clipboard.
Yeah, or like, if you're like knocking on doors, or like you're out in the community, educating,
spreading the good word,
educating, talking with people like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So I think in my parents, in each of their own ways, they've kind of always had that in them. And so I think like I just grew up in that with that mentality in the house, like just growing up. And so, but you know, like in high school, I was always like involved in like a bunch of random stuff, man. Like, yeah, I was the captain of the soccer team, the indoor and outdoor track team. I was the student representative to the Somerville School Committee. So I was always like reporting what was happening in the city. I was the news reporter for the Somerville, the teen.
You have it tatted on you yet, bro?
To have what tatted on me?
Somerville.
No, but I have like a tattoo that's like based on Somerville, yeah, and based on the show on one that we did in this warehouse 4 years ago, and 3 years ago, and a month ago.
Hey,
but it hasn't even been a month, bro. That's crazy. It feels like
It'll be a month. Maybe.
It'll be a month
like,
soon,
like 5 days
in a week. Yeah, but it feels like so long ago, dog.
It's nuts. Well, there's a huge letdown
It's
after you have an
been
event,
24,
dude.
Yeah, it's only been 24 days. That's crazy.
After you have an event, because it's such a high, then you're like, oh god.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird, but yeah. So like, I was always doing mad shit in high school that was just like about connecting people. Yeah, like I was the news reporter for the Somerville Neighborhood News. So just like producing, filming, and editing. Stories about different stuff happening in the high school and like around Somerville. So it's always been about like giving voice to people doing different dope shit, and like supporting that in some way, like what you're doing with the podcast. So it's it's always been fun for me, man. So again, like if I don't become rich, I am fortunate enough to have this job. And I have that foundation, like having, gone to school for teaching. I always have that. But if I continue on these two paths at once, there's no reason why, things can't just pop off and the art just takes over fully. That's really what the vision is.
So that's
long term. Yeah.
So you would, over being like a champion in your city, like you would take a path of like commercial success as an artist. It's a tough bind, baby boy.
Oh, it is definitely, and that's something I think about all the time. And my gut says it's still Somerville. Like it's still Somerville.
What does your ego say?
My ego is, of course, it's leaning towards like being the front man. Yeah, of course. But in between those is a very beautiful medium where like I can influence influence a lot of what goes on and support a lot of what goes on without being the face of shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like balance is, me, Abu, and there's another co-founder named Sam Badeau Fisher.
I don't know if I've met that cat.
I don't know did they meet at one? He was at one.
You might have seen him there, but I don't know
if y'all met. So Sam and I were the ones who did the first one in 2016. Him and I it was my originally. So okay, I mean we're in the warehouse. We have to tell the story if we're like in the warehouse doing this interview. It's a full circle that has to be filled in.
We're in the
warehouse 11.
I was gonna say simulation.
Oh, but also that within the simulation.
Before you tell the story
in warehouse 11.
Before you tell the story, Catherine, any questions, big dog?
No, no.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's lit. Okay, so September 2015. No, September 20. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. September 2015. My sophomore year of college. The first Evolution of Hip Hop Festival is happening in Union Square, right outside these doors, in front of Scat TV, and it was organized by this guy named Mike Curtis. His brand is Union, because he's a firefighter, but also a crazy graphic designer. Like he makes so much dope local Boston sports gear.
Guy. Yeah, he's the guy who's doing all the t-shirts in here.
Yeah.
I saw he was at your event.
Yeah, he had a table here. So he organized the hip hop festival. I performed at it. I did a few songs, and like a bunch of my lyrics were about Somerville gentrification, like they always have been. And so him having lived here his whole life, we started talking after, and we just ended up chatting for like 30 minutes. And he was like, yeah, man, like I rent out this warehouse down the road. I've been renting it out for a minute. Like it's a dope spot. And so like we exchanged numbers, and then I hit him up a couple months later. I was like, yo, we should do a show there, like local artists. And he's like, dope, let's do it, man. So on January 1st of 2016, we had the first one show here. And it was crazy, dude, because like it was so grassroots, like just do it yourself. I made like by nice standards, it was a shit flyer. But I loved it because I was just like in my basement, like the stencils and the spray paint and the scanning and it was like so like it was so below what we're capable of in 2016. Like I just don't know Photoshop, I don't know any of that shit, but it was fun. And we got a good amount of heads out here, man. It was like 50 heads or something, like 50 heads maybe around there. But Mike Union didn't charge us at all for the space. He just split the ticket money with us, and then we paid the artists with all that money. And I mean, I gave myself a little bit and like Sam, because we like put money into like buying equipment and like, you know, promotion.
No one's mad at you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, but like we deserve obviously, but you know, we paid all the artists and like, so from the jump, that's what it's been about. And then we had the second one, January 1st, 2017. Then we had the third one, January.
That was the one that got snowed out, right?
Right. It was going to be January. It wasn't going to be January 1st. It was going to be the first week of January. And then there was a storm the night that the show was supposed to happen.
Dun.
So it postponed it a few weeks, had it at Once Warehouse. Not Once Warehouse.
Once Ballroom.
Yeah, had the third one there. Cool space, but it's not the vibe that One is. It's nothing against Once Ballroom. We had the after party for One at the upstairs because it's a dope space, the upstairs lounge in Once Ballroom. Check that spot out too.
That shit's fire.
And I've been to dope rap shows at Once Ballroom too, don't get me wrong. But just for what the actual show of One is about, it's just not the vibe as much as the Warehouse is. So like we've been in the Warehouse since 2016 because of Mike Curtis Union, who like gave us the spot for free. And it was just like very inspiring for us, man, like showing us we could make money off this and pay our friends and like other, you know, local artists that we were became homies with through the art. So that was kind of like the validation we needed pretty early on to show us like it's possible if you do it for the right reason and do it with the right people. You can make things happen. And you see that happening all over Boston, man. Like there's just mad different things going on around the city. Like, you know, there's Van Buren Records, there's Good Company, All Stars. They just had their show. They had a show the other night. Her Muse Collective.
Big Fresh, you tapped in all this.
So like there's a lot of different.
We just had Ricky Felix up last week.
Yeah, word. Crazy talented producer. And like, you know, there was the flea market that was here for a few consecutive months. So there's a lot of different stuff that's happening around Boston that's being done with the right intent. And I think that just kind of, and your event, of course, the get together, the network, Golden Deer's movement, like
it's the GB Hustle. The
GB Hustle, like there's so many different things happening. And that's why I'm like, I don't really want to go to NY or LA. Like I get it because that's
you're happy.
I'm happy, and I want to help build the base here because there are so many people doing that. And I think that if people just recognize that and see the role they can have in like being a reason why so many future kids can pop off from Boston, that's everything to me. Because the legacy that you leave is not about what you do, it's about what people can do with what you've done. That's what legacy is to me. And
the impact you make.
It's the impact. And, you know, and the hope is that you're so busy that you're not thinking about that because you should just be doing it because you want to do it. Like, and that's the vibe that I get from Boston. People are doing shit because they want to. And when you're doing something that you want to do, that's where the soul comes through. And the soul is just like, you can't stop soul. You can't stop that soul power. So like, I just love seeing that happen in a lot of different ways. And I recognize it. And it's inspiring for sure. And when I'm mad tired and sleep deprived and not doing self-care, not taking care of myself at all and shit, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, yo, this is just gotta keep going, man. Like,
That's also probably that ADHD, baby boy.
yeah. What
You got that mania motor, boy.
it's maniac McGee shit.
That's a fire ass book.
Fire ass elementary school book, bro.
Bro, you ever
Throwback.
You ever read
Throwback.
You ever read Cheesehead?
I don't think I did. Did you read Cheesehead?
What is cheese?
I don't think I read Cheesehead.
Cheesehead was big.
I used to read Fudge.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
I used to read Henry and Mudge. You guys remember those
Animorph?
books?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Animorph?
first grade book. I was reading in 8th grade.
Bro, I don't even know if I ever read a full Animorph book in my whole life. I think
Oh,
I was just
Animorph.
always like, wow, these covers are fire. Yeah.
Noah
then,
book.
like-
Can I tell you one thing though,
Yeah.
bro? Noah book is terrible, and if any dude read it, they would be totally suspect. Are the Twilight series? Like,
Damn, bro, that's fucked up.
but
I
that's
didn't
what I'm
read it.
saying.
I didn't read it, but like, I just feel like
If
there
you
are
did
mad
read
heads who
it,
did.
bro, and you liked it, that would be weird, right?
I'm not
And
gonna,
like you told all the girls, like, "Oh my god, that's so whack that you like that book." But when like you went home, you
nah,
read it.
dude. I don't even read enough to knock someone else for reading. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like,
like,
that's
I-
whack. That series.
Like, yeah, bro. I don't read enough. That's like one thing that I definitely feel like I need to improve on. But like, again, if you're busy as hell and you can't force yourself to be reading mad books. Like, I'm trying to read more, definitely read more about the news and what's going on.
Yeah,
because,
you should just read the newspaper, bro.
Yeah. And I've had stretches of time where I'm like good at getting into that groove. But like, it's hard to be consistent with that. Like it is to be consistent with anything. That's why, you know, like it's good to see how consistently you're putting out these podcasts and, you know, machine, bro. Gotta be the machine.
Hey, can I tell you one thing, dude? Your beard's lined up great.
Hey, shout out Razor Right, bro.
Oh, that's
Get
where
on your
Nicky
Instagram.
Buckets used to give cuts.
Word. Okay, shout out. I just really don't know. I'm sorry.
You know Nick
But
Testa?
Shout out Nick. Nick.
That was the dude who was cutting at our event. He just left there and he went to Lou Diamonds.
Word. No, I don't think I. Yeah, no. Oh, then I definitely saw him around. Yeah. But I don't think he ever cut my hair.
He always had
But-
the ring light. Like he'd always set up the ring light.
Yep. Word. So yeah, shout out Razor Right. Go on Instagram if you're in Somerville. I think it's just at Razor Right. Yeah. They give good cuts. And also shout out Hair Janeer. So my boy Smiley, who worked at Razor Right, just opened his own shop. It's called Hair Janeer, like engineer, but Hair Janeer. I love that.
That's a bar.
So HAIR Hair GINEER. Yeah, Hair Janeer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Smiley. Yeah, man. So thank you. I forgot what we were talking about, bro.
Hey,
But we can,
real quick.
Oh, Animorph and children's books.
real quick.
Shout out.
So let's say Catherine comes over here with her friends, right? She goes to BU.
Okay.
And she's like,
I graduated from BU. Shout out BU. Well, I did my master's at BU. Shout out BU. Sorry.
shout out BU.
If
Shout out the
BU,
Terriers.
if
Shout out the
Catherine's
Terriers.
friends came through, the Terriers.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, we really want to go get something to eat.
Haha.
Where are they going in Somerville? One spot, done.
Oh, you can't do that, bro. Because then I go like options, bro.
All right, then two.
Okay.
Then two.
If you okay, so if we're
And
talking,
don't
like,
give me three, just give me two.
I got you, bro. I got you with two. I'm trying to think of like what's okay. I'll give you two different things, and they're I'm thinking in the mindset of like college student. So, Pete, if I'm talking just like a fire slice of pizza, there are okay. I'll give you one, and it's controversial because like the OG Somerville heads won't say this, but like me being slightly newer Somerville, you have to get a slice of buffalo chicken pizza from Mama Lisa's.
Where's that?
Mama Lisa's, bro. See, I can't even tell you one place. Alfredo's. You need the Alfredo's buff chick, and then if you're gonna get another one, but I said two places. It's on Broadway. It's right on Broadway. It's across the street from the abandoned Star Market. So the Star Market that's been abandoned for 12 years, and that's a whole other controversy that like is slowly being dealt with. But controversy just in that it's a prime area for people to have places to get food, but it's been closed for dumb long for no reason other than like complacency. But Alfredo's for a slice of buffalo chicken pizza, or if you're going out to brunch, go to Kelly's Diner in Ball Square, and it's anyone who's moved to Somerville in the last 15 years. That is the third of the three places they'll tell you. That will be bronze medal of Ball Square. But if you're from Somerville and you want some hearty, wholesome ass breakfast food, I've been there with Abu, Kelly's Diner. It's just classic. The owners of Sound Bites and Ball Square Cafe, the two other joints mad close.
That bridge is messing everything up, though.
Bruh, it's so fucked up. Yeah, it really sucks. But the owners of those two other joints, like, they're rival spots, and apparently one time they, like, actually squared up outside of their stores. Like, we're ready to, like, bang it out, like, heated.
That's fire.
No
content.
jokes. Yeah, bro. I wish,
World Star.
I'm a pacifist, but that would have been some next level footage. They would have both been screwed, and then we could have finally opened our dream, brunch spot.
The caption would be
balance.
Sunny side up.
Hey, yo. That's a bar. It's a bar.
Hey, Big Fresh. They got to get back in here to clean soon, so we got to riggedy wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Big Fresh, any final questions that I'm missing on the Boston music scene that you're tapped into?
It's not quite about the Boston music scene, but like just kind of going back to like politics and music. Like, can you just quickly talk about how you kind of find the balance there, so that you're not necessarily identifying as like a political rapper, but like you still get across the messages that you like believe? Word.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's mad important. Yeah, I think that it is important to tread a line because you have to keep in mind that there is a much larger fan base that you want to tap into. And the beauty of music for most people, understandably so, is that it is its own thing.
It's escapism.
It's an escape, and that's really what it is, yo. Like, it's therapy for people who make it. It's therapy for people who listen to it. And, obviously the people who make it also listen to it, so it's like double effect. So I have to be careful with that, but at times you have to say things if you're feeling it like very deeply. If you have to get it off your chest, you have to get it off your chest. But like you said, there are ways you can be political without necessarily taking a side or like being corny or like too literal. Because when you get too literal, sometimes I think it can lose that power if you're just like feeding it to them. You got to be able to like chew on it and interpret it how you want. But, in a song like Condos, I had to be like a little bit more upfront about like what was making me upset about the city and gentrification. But there are ways you can talk about your political views, like the Deja Vu thing that the song I made with Sesame. Johan, shout out Sesame as well. He's a dope producer. Every day more like deja vu, probably come down to the way I move. Not a lot of y'all see the way I see. It's about more than the guala, how it pay off, fool. So like that, that's not even necessarily political, but when you make clear your stance on wealth or like your opinion on stacking bread, yeah, that's one way you can share your philosophy without being like, we gonna have to drop 52% tax because Bernie Sanders is our man. Like, if you hear that in a song, bro, you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
unless that beat,
shout out Killer,
unless it's a Big Fresh beat, unless it's a Big Fresh beat
bangs though. Like, shout out Killer Mike, shout out Run the Jewels and like politically overt rappers. They're dope, but that's their lane, and they don't do it as cornily as that. I was being mad extra with it, but like always trying to find a fine line, and that's really where Kendrick Lamar is like my everything in terms of like at least how I shape the message, if not the sound itself. Always finding poetic ways.
Finding a way to slip it in where it's not like in your mouth.
Yeah, finding poetic ways to just say things that you feel without being aggressive. You got to be aggressive sometimes, but you can't just be pushing people around, man.
So this will actually release after the Kurt and Tony episode because we're going to release it on Tuesday, on Super Tuesday.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's coming up, so we're trying to incentivize kids our age, like why the election's kind of important.
For sure, important.
But any questions you want me to ask him, I can also ask you off air if you'd rather me do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, off the top, I don't, because you did a very good job.
Thank you.
If you haven't seen it already, Big Man here interviewed Kurt and Tony.
He's coming back, my guy.
So, I think right now, no, I don't. But if I think of anything else, I'm gonna hit you with a text.
You'll probably have something in like 2 minutes.
Word, yeah. Facts.
Big bro, have you seen that piece of trash on the street? This city's going to shit, man.
We're done. But last quick plug. So yeah,
please.
Got I'm starting a new group called My Guys.
I like that.
It already started. I mean, like the album's done. It's dropping in April, but it's called My Guys, and the album's called Good Stuff. So it's Good Stuff by My Guys. It'll be streaming everywhere. First single's coming out in March, so keep an eye out for that.
What's it called? The single.
The single's called Google Me Guy.
Nice.
And
Let's do
me and
Joanna's
Abu
marketing.
always have a bunch of songs in the vault, and we got some stuff we're working on.
Have I been saying your name wrong?
So,
Is it Abu?
It's
Abu. I've been saying Abu,
Yeah.
not Abu. I've been saying,
You kind of have
I mean,
a
you
pause.
rarely say like.
you say
my
Big
name,
Fresh like
yeah,
95%.
so, like, I don't even notice it.
I don't even know who Big Fresh is. I just
Abu.
know Freshykins.
Freshykins. So,
Or Freshita.
yeah, man. So, yeah, a lot of music coming out this year, man.
What's your social medias?
Oh, I thought it was a dap, but I'm a dap you up. Can I dap you up anyways, though?
All up.
Word. My social media is at Jerome B Free, and it's B without the E. So just Jerome, letter B, free, because we should all be free.
I agree. That's a bar.
Yeah.
All right, listen, this is how we start and end the episodes.
Bet.
You say hi, your name. So hi, I'm Jerome.
Oh, I am. I thought you meant like hi, Marcel.
Hi,
Hi.
hold on. Let me finish. Hi, I'm blank, your name, and this is my golden hour. Directly after no break. Hi, I'm your name, and that was my golden hour.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's this is, and then it's that was.
Yeah, for sure.
And you say them right after.
Say what?
You
right?
say the second one right after the first one.
Yeah. I mean, like a quick little pause for the.
It's up to you, man.
Okay, word. Dope. Because they're bookmarked. They're bookends.
I don't know, dude.
Who knows, dog? Okay. Hi, I'm Jerome B, and this is my golden hour. Hi, I'm Jerome B, and that was my golden hour.
I think people are on to us, Big Fresh. People are starting to get it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had Benny Comics.
Can I do that one more time?
No. You're gonna mess it up.
No,
Trust me.
no.
You got
I'm
it, bro.
deaf. I felt like a
seconds.
fucking.
We'll
I
do
felt like
another podcast
I
sometime.
felt like I was recording a commercial, but like I felt too. My G.
Did you hit it?
Yeah.